Miami 2024 Race Notes. Racing in the Sunshine State. Dick kicked off this week's Race Notes. Hey gang, my thoughts on the Miami Grand Prix. Number 1. Great win by Lando and McLaren and somewhat long overdue. Especially impressive given how far off the pace McLaren was at this time last year. Number 2. McLaren brought a big upgrade package to Miami. They certainly worked in Miami. But will they work at the next race in Imola? Number 3. Lando did get a bit fortunate on the timing of the safety car, and for others, the timing of the safety car did not help them. But luck does play a role in winning a lot of races. Number 4. The race itself was actually pretty entertaining. There was quite a bit of passing and was not a processional event like many races can be. Number 5. I hated that Logan was punted out of the race by Magnussen. At the time of their collision, he had been hanging with Albon pretty nicely, about 1 second back. Number 6. Speaking of Magnussen, what is going on inside that helmet? Lots and lots of penalties the last few races. Not sure what is going on there, but he has definitely been all over the place. Number 7. I was surprised that the Ferraris were not more competitive. They were good, but seemed to be just missing that little bit extra that I thought was there. Number 8. Lewis drove a heck of a race and pulled off multiple entertaining passes. Number 9. The battle between Piastri and Ricciardo was titanic and great fun to watch. Number 10. For whatever reason, Red Bull looked fast but not dominant on Friday, and that carried on through the weekend. Number 11. Was happy that Logan managed to finish 10th in the sprint, a good result considering where he started. John responded, "Here's my brief race notes. Number 1. A popular and well-deserved win for Lando and McLaren. Number 2. A rare mistake from Max with consequences. Number 3. A feisty fight from Hülkenberg and Haas was good to see. Number 4. Excellent racing and close through the field, also good to see. Number 5. Logan Sargent can't buy a break as he comes closer to the end of his, and America's for now, dream of a driver on F1. And I responded with my not-so-brief notes, since I'm still processing all my thoughts. Number 1. McLaren's win is a blend of car pace and strategy. I agree with Dick. Can this hold? Will be interesting to see. Number 2. Lando's win had me emotional. I am so proud of him. I enjoyed seeing so many across the paddock congratulating him. As a proud American, I was delighted to hear the British national anthem at a Grand Prix. Number 3. It's because of some of the content we have in the pipeline, but I think this win just hit me so profoundly. Maybe it's where I am in life. I love the image of Lando's resilience, tenacity, and perseverance while remaining grounded and true to himself. Number 4. 2 drivers' maturity was on display for me. Oscar got caught by that safety car, but he did a good job. I was impressed with how he handled himself throughout the race. And Yuki. I don't think I expected him to show us this level of driving. He battled with Lewis. He got P7. That's something to value in a time when every point counts and his racing future is on the line. Number 5. Turn 1 could have been so different. Sergio hitting Max, Sainz not having situational awareness, glad that it all worked out. Number 6. Ferrari pit stops. I reflected on how the last few years I would hold my breath whenever Ferrari pitted, knowing it would be detrimental to their race. This weekend, Ferrari seemed to have gotten it right, and when I think about it, so far this year that's been the case. Keep it up. Good job, team. Number 7. This weekend might be the weekend where the other teams walk away thinking, Red Bull isn't unbeatable. Charles kept Sergio behind him during the sprint. Lando pulled away from Max during the GP. Yes, Max had damage, but still Lando had the upgrades and had the pace. Lewis was on Sergio's tail doing his best to get the most out of the car. I'd like to think this isn't a 2-horse race. Maybe we'll see if McLaren can be consistent and bring it next week as well. Number 8. I'm perplexed by Max's mistake. He generally does not make mistakes. What happened? Number 9. This is only the second weekend where Red Bull didn't win. Australia, with Carlos and Ferrari, they didn't have Max in the race. And here in Miami, it was Lando and McLaren, and they were able to charge ahead of Max significantly. Is that the upgrade, or is that because Red Bull and Max had damage? Number 10. McLaren kept to their MO of keeping expectations low. They projected that this weekend was just to, quote, see, end quote, whether the upgrade package would work, and that future races would be for optimizing. If that's truly the case, which I personally doubt, I think they knew their work was going to be a game changer. Ferrari has to be concerned and really needs to come together and figure this out for next weekend, especially because it's Imola. And number 11, preparation. William Joseph, Lando's strategist, gave an interview post-race where he spoke about how they have been preparing, especially the last few races. This resonated with me. I think McLaren prepared for the moment that Red Bull wasn't dominant, for that chink in the armor, and the cards fell in their favor. That requires preparation, persistence, and patience. Now it's about consistency and concentration to keep the momentum. Can you help us out? If you haven't already, please take a moment to follow us and give us 5 stars on your favorite podcast app, as well as share this episode with other F1 fans. We know our growth is because of you, and the guys and I thank you. And with that, let me say, we'll keep talking and you can keep listening in because we're just 2 guys, a girl, and F1. For John, Dick, and me, Sabrina, thanks for listening.